Hello everyone and welcome to another FPL video on the channel. In this one we're going to take a look at how we did in game week 19 and then take a look at what my team selection is for game week 20. Have we made any transfers and the potential plans? But anyway, let's have a look at how we lined up in game week 19. We'll have a quick run through as we did do another video on Wednesday, I believe it was, it went up. So it's a quick run through and then we'll get on to game week 20. So here's how we lined up in game week 19. We had Kepa against Man City and Fulham, double game week. That's the same as Cucurella. Then we had Cancelo who played Chelsea, Shaw who played Bournemouth, Rashford who played Bournemouth, Andreas had a double game week with Leicester and Chelsea. Then we had Newcastle for Martinelli and De Bruyne had Chelsea. Same with Haaland who had Chelsea as well. Nunes had Brentford and Martial had Bournemouth. Ward had Fulham on the bench. Trossard had Everton, Trippier had Arsenal, and Bueno had Aston Villa. So, how do we do? So as you can see on the screen, we had a pretty average week. We got 54 points, which actually did give us a red arrow of about 50,000. We was up at 19,000. We're now 663,000. So not the best weeks for us. Few disappointments in there. You know, you had the double game week of Cucurella and Kepa, both getting 3 points. And moving forward, I think they look like terrible options right now. I mean, the way Chelsea are playing, they look awful. Cucurella was dropped for the Fulham match because he's just doesn't seem to be there. He doesn't seem to be a footballer. At Brighton, he was quality, and now all of a sudden he goes to Chelsea and he can't kick a football. But he was dropped for Lewis Hall. Kepa was shocking in the Fulham match. Just didn't want to come out for any crosses, and you know was probably at fault for at least one of those. So yeah, awful from Kepa and Cucurella. Cancelo, stinker, just awful player right now. I don't know what's going on with him. Shaw, fantastic, opposite of the other three. Excellent form for Shaw. United keeping clean sheets for fun, but we do have 2 tough fixtures coming up soon. Martinelli walked away with 3 points, so finally a blank for Martinelli. He got the clean sheet point against Newcastle. It was always a tough match. De Bruyne, blank versus Chelsea. City guys can't seem to do it for me right now. Rather frustrating, but they do have a double game week. Then we had Rashford, who I actually captained instead of Haaland, which worked out nicely. He's on form, so just play the form man, and it worked out. 8 points for him. Lovely stuff. Andreas, we started over Trippier. He got 5 points. Trippier got 8. So a little bit of a swing there, but I suppose it's not that bad in the end. He did get an assist versus Chelsea. But then we had Martial, Haaland and Nunes, all with blanks. Nunes got a yellow card. So the 3 amigos stunk the place out. So moving on to game week 20 and how are we going to line up? So we have made 2 transfers. I had 2 free transfers and we've used them both. So let's see. So we're going to have Kepa in net against Crystal Palace. Now the way Chelsea are playing, I do expect Crystal Palace to score. I think that's a better fixture than what Ward has, which is why I'm starting him. Then we have Bueno against West Ham. I think Wolves are in a decent place right now, you know, under Lopetegui. West Ham, they're struggling, aren't they, really, West Ham? Struggling for goals, struggling for wins, and I think this is a good opportunity for Wolves at home to potentially maybe keep West Ham out, whose away form is not very good. Then we have Botman, one of the new signings, brought him in for Cancelo. Cancelo does have a double game week, but we all know it's not going to be a double game week because he's probably not going to play both. And due to the fact that he's not going to play both, it's a single game week versus single game week. Botman has Fulham, Cancelo would have either Manchester United or Tottenham. And to be honest, I think there's a chance that Tottenham and Manchester United both score against Man City. So for 7.2 million, I think he is now, he's not worth the price tag. I've shipped him out and we've got Botman in, whose Newcastle defence is absolutely fantastic. So we've now got him and Trippier. Trippier, we all know, Mr. Consistent. For some reason I benched him and he got points. But anyway, he's back in the side now. Hopefully they keep a clean sheet versus Fulham. Then we've got Shaw, who is one of the form players for us right now. He has a double game week of Manchester City and Crystal Palace. Now, of course, the Man City game is not ideal. Probably won't keep a clean sheet there, let's be real. But the Palace one, there could be a good opportunity for that. Now, I think he will start in both games. I think he's key under Ten Hag. Ten Hag likes him a lot. You can play him at centre-back. He plays him at left-back. I think he's our main starting left-back over Malacia, 100%. So I do see him starting both games. On to the midfield now, and we have the 3 familiar faces. We've got Martinelli against Tottenham. It's a mix-up between him and Trossard. I am unsure who to start. It's a toss-up. Trossard did score a hat-trick against Liverpool, but he is yellow flagged and he didn't even start last game, whereas Martinelli is guaranteed to start and Arsenal are on good form compared to Tottenham, who are not in the best of runs. Then we have De Bruyne, who has a double game week of Manchester United and Tottenham. You know, hopefully De Bruyne can start getting some returns. I don't mind if he blanks in the Man United game. That would be ideal. And then in the Tottenham game, he can run riot, whatever. We need De Bruyne to start doing something because 12 million, he's not worth it at the minute. Then we have Marcus Rashford, who is actually my captain. I don't know why it's not on there, but he is my captain. Manchester City at home, Crystal Palace away from home. He's on form right now. He's scoring it. He scored, I think, in like 8 games in a row for Manchester United. He's killing it. And I think that you've got to take advantage of them when they're on this fire run. And Marcus Rashford is on a hot streak. So I'm just going to keep abusing it until it, cools out. And hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon. He's a key asset under Ten Hag. Ten Hag loves him. He's guaranteed to start on that left wing. And he can also play up front as well. Man City, it could be an ideal fixture. Maybe he's on the counter-attack. I mean, if he's up against Walker, it's going to be a tough matchup. And if he's up against Rico Lewis, he's a bit of an unknown quantity. We'll see what happens. But Manchester City, Manchester United are going to sit on the counter and probably look to abuse them with the pace. That's what we usually do against them. Rashford, that's ideal for. He could get a goal in there. And then Palace, that's where we're going to be in control of the game, hopefully, and try and break them down. And with Rashford, he's on form. I expect him to score in at least one of these games. So that's why he's my captain. So up front now, and we have a new face. We have Harry Kane, the Englishman. Arsenal at home, Man City away. On paper, you could say that's the 2 toughest fixes in the league, and it probably is. But he has a good record against Arsenal. Harry Kane is probably the 2nd best striker in the league, arguably the 1st. All-rounded he is anyway. But he's got 15 goals in the league so far, and he's got, I think, 4 assists as well. It's a fantastic return from him so far in a Tottenham side that are generally not the most attacking, are they? But Harry Kane's a great asset moving forward. He does have 4 yellow cards, which isn't ideal, but hopefully he doesn't get a ban anytime soon. And then we have Haaland, who also has a double game week. He's a strong captain pick for a lot of people. People are also considering a triple captainship, but for me, I'm not going to be doing that. And I've also got Rashford as captain, so there you go. We then also have Martial as the final attacker. Man City at home, Crystal Palace away. He bagged a brace against Man City last time. Do I expect him to do that again? Probably not. There's also rumours as well that he's got a bit of a knock, so hopefully he does actually play. I don't expect him to get 90 minutes in both games anyway, especially now with Weghorst coming in. I do expect there to be some even more rotation with Martial now, and he's not going to be an asset long term moving forward. I think Weghorst, depending on the price, could be a good option. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see how that goes down. I do expect Martial to start versus Man City unless the knock is serious. So onto the bench, we have Ward against Nottingham Forest, which actually isn't a bad fixture. And if Leicester were on a little bit better of a run, post World Cup, then I would consider playing him over Kepa. But for now, I'm going to start with Kepa in net. Then we have Trossard versus Liverpool. As I said, it's a bit of a toss-up between who starts, him or Martinelli. I am unsure. Then we have Cucurella against Crystal Palace. I've got Bueno in there twice, just realised that. But nonetheless, that is Cucurella, and he's on my bench. Crystal Palace at home. I looked at this fixture and thought this could be a good opportunity for Chelsea to get a clean sheet. But this man is he's not a good footballer. I don't know what's happened to him. And now he's a rotation risk as well. So I think sooner rather than later, Cucurella will get dropped out of my team, probably. So he's on the bench. If he returns, he returns. But I'm going to take my chance with Hugo Bueno instead of Cucurella. And the final man on the bench is Andreas. Back to the bench, but he did get us a return in the double game week, so we'll thank him for that. But anyway, that's how the team is lining up. We've got 2 new faces for 2 free transfers, and there's potential for more transfers as well. If I make any more transfers, I will put that on Twitter, but potentially maybe Trossard could come out for someone else. I do have 1.8 million in the bank, so there is room for manoeuvres there. Rashford captain. Hopefully Manchester United can do bits in a double game week, but it is a big ask against Manchester City. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe. That would be much appreciated. We just hit 400 subscribers, so thank you all so much for that. Truly appreciated. And if you could pump that number up even more, I'd be truly thankful. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you all next time. Cheers guys.